Good morning. This is Manjula, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Dr. BRR Government College, Jadcherla, Mahabub Nagar. Now we have seen that plans are classified into five. Yesterday we have seen with the two topics. Now today, program, budgets, and schedules. What is actually a program? Now, if we take the example, programs are the specified sequence of activities that are to be carried on according to the plan. Now, for example, if there is a annual day function in the school or in the college, a program will be drawn wherein a sequence will be there where a function will be carried on according to the sequence. Now, if it is an annual day program, in the annual day, first there will be inviting the dignitaries on to the dais, and then lighting of the lamp, Vande Matram, then annual report of the college or school will be said by the principal, and then a little bit of programs, awards given to the students who have secured highest marks. So this is the program sequence that is to be carried on. So a plan is nothing but a program. A program is planned so that it can be carried on smoothly. And program is a one-time activity. These are single-use plans. These three are single-use plans where program once fixed or a program is drawn, it can be used for only that program. After the program is finished, the purpose of the program will be accomplished and there is no use of that program sequence. Next, second one is the budget. Budget is deciding what is the amount of expenditure that is to be incurred by the company and what are the incomes of the company in that particular year. So budget, every year it will be released by the government. Company also releases its budget every year. So it is a one-time plan wherein whatever the budget that is prepared for 1 year can be used for only once. For next year again a fresh budget has to be prepared. So this is also a single use plan. Now schedule is nothing but, again it is a single use plan where schedule is drawn on the basis of the activity that is to be done. Now for example, if there is a training course in the college for 5 days, what is the first day program schedule? What is the first session, second session and third session? And in the second day, what are the topics in the first session, second session and third session? And in the third day, what are the sessions that are to be carried on? Who will be the chief guest or who are the speakers? All these will be analyzed and written in the schedules. So these schedules are followed for 1 day, 2 days or 3 days according to the program. Now once that schedule is finished, again it is not useful. So all these three are single use plans. Planning a particular program or planning the budget or planning the schedules of the programs in the institutions or organizations. All these are single use plans. Now planning can be done on the basis of different situations. Now a planning can be classified on the basis of time. That is, on the basis of time, planning can be classified as short term plan, medium term plan and long term plan. Now in case of short term plan, a plan is done only for 1 year. That is, its time period is only 1 year. Now if the company is able to plan for less than 5 years, that is, that plan is suitable for less than 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th year, then it is called as medium term plan. Now if the company is able to formulate a plan for more than 5 years, maybe for 10 years or 15 years, those plans are called as long term plans. So on the basis of time, Plans are classified into short term plan, medium term plan, and long term plan. But when it comes to long term plan, planning for 10 years or 15 years is difficult. Now, take for example this corona situation. Though company has planned for long run, those plans will not work out in this situation because actual situation is different. Now what is going on, this situation is different, and the plan what is done by the company is different. That is before corona plans are made. Those are not applicable in this corona period. So those are long term plans, but long term plans depends upon the market situations. Always it may not be successful. Next, classification on the basis of nature. Now, on the basis of nature is nothing but if the business carried on or the way or where the goods the business is dealing with is of perishable nature, then short term plans are suitable. If they are non perishable goods, whatever the goods that are dealt by the company are non perishable goods, then the company can plan for medium term and long term. So all the plans depends upon the basic nature of the business, whether it is producing perishable goods or non perishable goods. Next, classification on the basis of business. Now, on the basis of business, whatever may be the business, plans may be classified into production plans, financial plans, marketing plans. All these are important for every type of business. It has to plan for its financial resources, what are the available resources with the company, and how the company can manage its financial resources, whether the funds are sufficient for present situation or it has to borrow some other funds. All these things are analyzed in financial plans. Next, production plans. Company will make plans whether the product is according to the requirement of consumers, or should production be increased or decreased, or these products should be sent to other places for sales, or is there any change in the composition of making a product. All those are analyzed in production plans. Next, marketing plans are those plans which are helpful for marketing the product of the company so that sales will be increased. So on the basis of business, plans are classified into financial plans, production plans, and marketing plans. Classification on the basis of scope. Now, scope of business may be wider or narrower. Now, if the scope of business is very narrow, short term plans are useful. If the scope of business is very wide, it needs to plan for the long term. So, the type of plans depends upon the scope of business also. So, plans are classified on the basis of time. On the basis of time, three types: short term plans, medium term plans, and long term plans. Next, on the basis of nature of business, nature of business are of two types, whether it is producing perishable goods or non perishable goods. If it is perishable goods, it can plan for short term. If it is non perishable goods, it can plan for long term. On the basis of business, it has to plan for three things: production plan, financial plan, and marketing plan. On the basis of scope, if the scope of business is very narrow, short term plans. If the scope of business is very wide, then long term plans are made by the company. So, planning depends upon the business and the type of goods it is manufacturing and the extent the business is carried on by the company. Next important aspect is the strategic planning. Now, what is strategies actually? Strategy is nothing but a clever idea so that whatever the plans that are made by the opponent party, those plans or those challenges can be faced by the existing institution. So, strategic planning is an organization's process of defining its strategies. It is a process where the company defines its strategy or a direction, or it makes decision on how the resources are to be utilized. All these comes under strategic planning. It may also extend to control mechanisms for guiding the implementation of the strategy. So, in order to implement the strategy made, it controls all the mechanisms in the organization. Now, if we see the example with a picture, with a cinema, in one picture, that is Nanaku Premato, hero has his own strategy. He traps the daughter of the villain and he tries to capture the whole money of the villain. That is his own strategy. In implementing his strategy, he makes various directions and he adopts his own mechanisms, that is giving a butterfly picture, that is his own mechanism. In order to attain his strategy, he makes all clever decisions. So that is strategy. Now, how long a strategy is sustainable? Unless a strategy is sustainable, it is not possible to achieve that strategy. Whatever the strategy that is made, it should be accomplished. Now, its sustainability depends upon certain factors. Now, once a strategy is made, that strategy should keep in view the following things in order to be successful. First one is internal consistency. Whatever strategy that is made, the organization before framing a strategy has to keep in view the internal policies, rules, procedures, regulations of the company. Whatever the strategy that is made, it should not affect the internal rules of the company. So, strategy made should be according to the internal consistency. It should not violate the rules of the internal rules of the company. That is first one, internal consistency. Next, second, consistency with the environment. Now, organization before framing a strategy in order to face the competition, it has to be consistent with the environment. That is, strategy made should be according to the market situations. Whatever the strategy made, that should be suitable to the present market situations. And the strategy made should be in such a way that it should predict the future market situations also. It should face the future market situations also. That is consistency with the environment. Environment may be two, I said. Whatever the strategy made by the organization, it should not violate the present market situation. It should keep in mind the present market situation before framing a strategy. And the strategy made should be in such a way that if there are any future changes in the market, it should be able to face that situation. So, strategy made should be possible in two ways. That is consistency with the environment. Next is suitable for available resources. Whatever the strategy made by the organization, that strategy framework should be suitable for the resources which are there with the organization. Now, if the strategy framed is highest and the resources are meager, the company cannot achieve that strategy. So, whatever the strategy is framed, it should be according to the available resources. Whatever the cinema example I gave you, hero planned his strategy according to the resources available for him. He gathered 2 or 3 friends and he framed his own strategy. He planned with 1 or 2 computers, and efficient hacker is taken into the group. So these are available resources for him for framing his strategy. Next, risk. Strategy involves risk, and before framing the strategy, the person should analyze the risk situation that is there with him. The same example. Hero analyzed what will be the risk if he faces that strategy. He is ready to face that risk and he know what will be the risk. So the person who is framing the strategy must know the risk situation. Next, time horizon. Strategy is to be framed within a time situation and it should be achieved in that particular time, maybe for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. It is a time horizon. So, strategy success depends upon the suitability of its factors, that is, internal consistency, consistency with the environment, suitable for available resources, risk, and time horizon. Next, what are the advantages of strategic planning? Every organization has their own strategy for success. They adopt their own strategy for becoming success. A strategy to be successful, or the strategic planning will be successful and is useful because it helps in the organization to be on the top of the position. So the advantages are making effective planning. Strategic planning leads to effective planning because it acts as a guide for planning the requirements of the organization. What are the requirements of the organization are planned on the basis of strategy. Next, changing with the environment. If the strategic planning is proper, then it can change according to the environment. I said environment may not be the same in all cases. Sometimes market situations change. So strategic planning should be done in such a way that it helps in coping with the environment. Next, giving information. Strategic planning helps in giving information. What are the competitors' strategies and how can they face their competitors? All those can be analyzed. Next, reduction of mistakes. Strategic planning helps in the reduction of mistakes. If mistakes are continued, then there will be a loss to the organization. There may be some mistakes while implementing strategies, but maximum it helps in reduction of mistakes or errors. Next, continuous development. Strategic planning helps in continuous development of the organization. Keeping in view all the market situations and all the information, planning is done. When planning is done in such a way, then there will be a continuous development of the organization. So these are the advantages of strategic planning. Next, limitations of strategic planning. Why strategic planning fails? Strategies fail. Those strategies are framed with an efficient knowledge. Why those strategies fail? First, bureaucracy. Now, bureaucracy is highest in Indian context. Whatever the strategies that are made, those cannot be implemented because of bureaucracy. These people interfere in between and acts as obstacles for the implementation of strategies. Next, strategic planning is expensive. It is costly because it has to use the efficient knowledge of the efficient persons. When these people are involved, generally they charge higher. So it is an expensive planning. Next, risk-free options. In case of strategic planning, sometimes risk-free options are not available. You have to face the risk. If you are framing a strategy, if there are any hurdles or obstacles in between your way, you have to face the risk. So these are the limitations of strategic planning. Bureaucracy, expensive, and risk-free options. Now next topic is decision making. Now decision making, if you see the picture, person is holding two circles in two hands, yes or no, whether to take a decision or not to take a decision. Decision making is involved in every aspect of the individual, not only individual but also organization. We have to take a decision, and the success of our life or the success of the organization depends upon the type of decision we make. So decision making is important for every person. I will give you an example of decision making. There was a frog and a scorpion. Both are on the shore of the ocean. That is, they are at the shore. They are at the shore of the river. Now, frog can cross the river because it can hop. Frog can cross the river because it has the capacity to hop. But a scorpion cannot cross the river. So the scorpion came to the frog and asked, "Will you help me in crossing the river?" At first, frog was afraid because the nature of the scorpion is to sting. If the frog helps the scorpion to cross the river, then scorpion will compulsorily sting frog. So the frog was very much afraid and it was not in a position to take the decision. Again, the two situations, yes or no, whether to help scorpion or not to help the scorpion. Then the frog said, "If I help you, you will be on my back and I'll be hopping and you will sting me. It is for sure that I will die. That your poison will enter into my body and I'll die." Then the scorpion says that, "If I sting you, then I cannot cross the river. You think logically, if I sting you, I cannot cross the river and I will also die because I'll drown in the water." So frog thought that it is correct because both of us has to cross the river. So frog helped the scorpion and scorpion sat on the back of the frog. Both were crossing the river. Now in between, frog felt some pain on her back. So it asked scorpion, "Did you sting me?" Then scorpion said, "Yes." Frog was shocked. It said that, "You said you will not sting me because you have to cross the river." Then scorpion said, "Why did you trust me? My nature is to sting. I will certainly sting. So whatever the decision you took, it is a wrong decision." So this is a best example where A wrong decision can lead to the end of the life. So, decision making is whether to take a decision or for or not. So, decision making signifies actual selection of a course of action from among a number of alternatives. You have to select a course of action before the alternatives you have. Whatever the alternatives you have, out of that, you have to select a course of action. That is decision making. Now, decision making should keep in view the limitations of time, money, and management. So, these factors influence the decision making: the availability of time, the availability of money, and the management. All these will help in decision making. And you have to choose that alternative which helps to achieve your goal with less cost. Your goal should be achieved but with less cost. So that is decision making. Next, types of managerial decisions. What are different types of decisions that can be made by the management? First, repeated decisions. Now, if the situation is same, we'll take same type of decision. Last year, an employee got an accident in the factory, and since there was an insurance policy, we referred that person's case to the insurance policy. Again, if next year there is an accident, again the same situation, that person will be referred to the insurance company or the hospital where the insurance coverage is available. So, repeated decisions. If the situation is same, the type of decision will be taken, the same decision will be taken. Next, unrepeated decisions. That is, whatever the decision you took cannot be used for the next situation. So, only once you can take the decision, the same decision cannot be implemented for the other situation. Unrepeated, only once you can take the decision. Repeated decisions, unrepeated decisions. Next, important decisions. Now, whatever the example I said, scorpion and frog, the decision is important because it is covering the life of the frog. So, those decisions are important decisions. Some decisions may not be that important. Whatever the decision you take, it may not influence much. So, those are unimportant decisions. Next, long-term and short-term decisions. If decisions is to be taken within 1 minute, 2 minutes or within 10 minutes, those are short-term decisions. If the decisions can be taken after 1 week or 10 days, then those are long-term decisions. Next, policy decisions. If any decision is made to frame the policies of the organization, then those are policy decisions. For framing the policies, if any decisions are made, then those are policy decisions. Next, implementation decisions. Implementation is nothing but, for example, the government or a factory owner is planning to change the uniform of the workers. A factory owner has taken a decision to change the uniform of the workers. And this decision will be implemented from tomorrow. They has to come in that uniform only. So these are implementation decisions that should be implemented. The change of uniform should be implemented in the organization from tomorrow. Next, organization decisions. Those decisions which influence the total organization are called as organization decisions. For example, giving bonus to the workers, whether to give bonus or not. If you are giving, it is a decision. Then it influences the organization. If you are not giving also, it influences the organization. Next, issue of shares to the workers. It is an organization decision. It influences the total organization. Personal decisions. Decisions relating to the individual person are called as personal decisions. So these are different types of managerial decisions. But depending upon the situation, the type of decision to be taken varies. Repeated decisions, unrepeated decisions, important, unimportant decisions, long term, short term decisions, policy decisions, implementation decisions, organization decisions, and personal decisions. Personal decisions are taken by a small person, that is a 1, 2 year, 3 years old person to the 60-year-old person. These are related to the individual decision making. Now, next, what are the different steps in decision making? If you are taking a decision, what are the steps to be followed for taking the decision? First is defining the problem. What is the problem actually, where the decision making has to be arrived? What is the problem? Now, for example, if I want to shift from this place to the another place, my problem is whether to stay here or not. Shifting from this place to another place. So, defining the problem. What is the problem actually? Whether to stay in this area or not. That is the problem actually. Next, develop alternatives. Now, what are the different alternatives available for me? Developing alternatives. If I don't want to stay here, what are the alternatives that are available for me? I can go to Hyderabad, or I can go to another district, or I can go out of the state. These are the different alternatives available for me. That is, if I am not in this place, I want to go out of this place, I can develop alternatives. My alternatives are three now. That is shifting to Hyderabad, or shifting to the other district, or moving from the state. These are the three alternatives available for me. Next, evaluate the alternatives. Now, whatever the three alternatives that are there before me, I have to evaluate. Now, if I want to move from this place, it is a decision. I want to move from this place. Evaluating the alternatives is, if I go to Hyderabad, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages if I stay there? Can I be able to cope up with the standard of living of Hyderabad? That is evaluating my own alternative. My alternative is to stay in Hyderabad, first alternative. Now, if I want to stay in Hyderabad, I have to see whether I can face that standard of living of the Hyderabad. I can cope up with the advancements that are there in the Hyderabad. Next alternative is moving to the other district. Now, if I want to move to the other district, I have to see whether I will be able to adjust in the other district or not. Whether my children will be able to adjust in the other district or not. What are the educational facilities in the other districts? What are the resources that are available in the other districts? All those are to be analyzed, evaluated in the second alternative. Third alternative is moving out of the state. Now, moving out of the state is again a dare decision, whether to move out of the state or not. Now, if I am moving out of the state again, whether I will be able to be in the other state or not. What are the facilities available in the other state? What are the employment opportunities available in the other state? Whether my children will be able to cope with the educational facilities in the other state or not. All these alternatives are to be evaluated in three situations. Now, after evaluating the alternatives, you have to see the pros and cons of the three alternatives. Whether to shift to Hyderabad, or shift to the other district, or move out of the state. Now, out of these alternatives, if I am taking a decision to shift from here to Hyderabad, because moving to the other district, I thought it is not possible. Other state, it is impossible. So Hyderabad is somewhat okay from out of these three alternatives. So making decision is moving to Hyderabad. You are evaluating the alternatives, and by evaluating the alternatives, a decision is taken to shift to Hyderabad. Next, implementing the solution. Implementing is you pack everything from here and you put in pack and movers and you shift to the other place, that is Hyderabad. Take a house for rent, put the children in other schools or take the admission in the schools, and you have to see where the job is available for you in the Hyderabad, whether it is convenient to you and to your husband and your people or not, and what are the facilities in the nearby areas. All these will be analyzed and the solution is implemented. You have been shifted to Hyderabad. Next, monitor your solution. Shifted, everything is okay, whether your decision is correct or not. Monitoring is whether your income sources are okay, whether your children are convenient with the education standards in the Hyderabad, or whether proper work amenities are provided in the Hyderabad or not. Monitoring. So all these things should be kept in mind while making a decision. Several questions come into our mind before taking a decision. Now all these questions can be answered if these 6 steps are followed. These 6 steps should be properly analyzed, and in every step number of questions arise. Put yourself questions, answer yourself, then you can take a correct decision. By defining the problem, developing alternatives, evaluating the alternatives, making the decision, implementing the solution, and monitor your solution. So decision making is important in every aspect. And the best example is Lalita Jewelers advertisement. Now in Lalita Jewelry's advertisement, he says that every rupee is important and it is your hard earned rupee. You see that that rupee is not wasted. Now he says that you do not come to Lalita Jewelers. Instead, you go to other jewelry shops, compare the prices with Lalita Jewelries, see the prices with the other shops, then you come and purchase our product. So he is saying to evaluate what are the alternatives available to you, and if you think that those alternative shops are costly than our shop, then you can come and purchase in our shop. So he is putting a question to us to evaluate yourself and then purchase the gold, because every rupee counts. So some of the people's words helps in taking a better decisions. So all these aspects should be kept in mind before taking a decision.